Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a bit. We've had a baby.
We've moved
Been
house.
a minute. We have moved house, yes. This is a new location. We haven't done it. I've filmed in the new house,
Yeah,
but
but
you
I
haven't. No. So this is a requested video over on Instagram by you guys. So it's a Q&A. Mostly people's questions are about the baby. So that'll be great to get those answered because it's kind of like things that I've been meaning to address anyway. So thank you for sending the questions through if you did. I will try to remember to shout out the people that asked the questions, but I'm terrible at remembering. We've gone to Carl's Jr. this time. So we've got a big ass bag. For those of you that watched letting the person in front of us order, they actually ordered the family meal last time and we were so incredibly amazed by it that we decided to do it today because we just love it that much.
Good value.
So I highly recommend ordering what the person in front of you did because it opens your mind to things that you didn't know existed. Right. Oh, and I also ordered a side of onion rings, which definitely is not worth the value of $5.
$4.95.
There's about 4 in there.
You're not lying.
I'm not lying. There's a hamburger. Chips that aren't in the boxes.
That's a little underwhelming, isn't it? Oh, because they've all
They're
come
all,
out.
well, they seem to have all come out, I think.
Bonus fries.
There is a lot of fries. There's another 2 packs in here, but I'm not going to go in. Oh, there's 3 loose onion rings as well,
Oh,
so
good.
that's okay. We've made up value, guys.
Crisis avoided.
Now, we're just going to dig in, quite literally, and dig into the questions because we've got so many to get through to. I had a brief look this morning at 9 AM and I said to Elle, I don't think we're going to be able to get through all these questions. So we will try not to linger too long, please,
Yep.
on each of the questions.
point.
So that we can get to your guys' questions because I really do want to answer them all if I can. Now, a few people have asked similar questions as well, so I won't be obviously repeating questions. Sorry, I've had a C-section, so sitting on the floor, it's not the most comfortable, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, also we've got a freaking Oreo shake.
Is it good?
I ordered this when we lived at Slacks Creek and it was so good.
Oh, that's so mean.
And thank
Oh,
you.
that is, it literally tastes like a creamy Oreo.
Yeah.
That's liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
It's got
fantastic.
knobs of Oreo in it too.
It literally tastes like they've just whipped up the cream inside.
Mm.
And oh, that is so good.
Right,
Mm.
let's do this. Christy_does_keto asks, are you all settled in far out, Katie? Are you all settled into the new place? Yes, we are. Well, we're not like 100% finished organizing the new place, but we're like settled enough to be living and functioning.
Yeah, now it's just like organising the storage that we don't use all the time and making the garage more optimised, but everything's functional.
Mm.
So,
I had a few requests as well for doing a baby room tour. It's an empty room. Because the baby... Oh no, my burger's falling apart. Because the baby's in our room for the first 4 months. All of his things are in with us. And Darcy's still transitioning out of his cot. So there's nothing for the baby yet. Mrs_Henderson asks, how are you guys adjusting to being a family of 4? Is it what you expected?
it's very tiring.
Well,
But I
we've
think-
kind of like, we'll explain what we've done. So we've kind of like zoned off while Elliot's on leave. He's got Darcy and I've got Oswin. So anything that requires to do with Darcy, Elle's doing. So he's changing his nappy, he's taking him out to the play centre, getting up in the night with him if he wakes up, and then I'm doing Oswin, but through the night Elle's helping change Oswin's nappy, and occasionally through the day as well.
I think that's why I'm finding it so tired, because I don't normally have Darcy 24/7. I normally just having like evenings and weekends. So.
Yeah. And I said to him, it's tough work, isn't it?
Yep.
Like, he's exhausting. Any toddler is exhausting. And I don't know how I'm going to do it with a baby as well. But I will make it happen. Misty Tara 2804 asks, what has been the most challenging part of having 2 kids so far? Also, if you hear any noises, it's Oswin. He's in this chair over there. Honestly, we haven't had too many challenges because, as I said, we've zoned off. So
the only challenge was when they both had that really bad night of sleeping, and then we were both
true.
That was a challenge.
Yeah, so we're so used to Darcy sleeping like 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. without any wakes. And then obviously we were used to Oswin kind of sleeping every 3 hours and then waking and feeding. And this particular night, Oswin was cluster feeding, which was fine. But then normally Elle will go to bed and sort of be on Darcy duty in the morning. So then I would just sleep with Oswin when he wants to go down. But this particular night, Darcy was up as well. And if you have toddlers or kids, you'll know that if they're up through the night, they don't make that sleep back up in the day, generally. They might have a slightly longer nap in the middle of the day, but generally if they're up, that's it. They're up and they're not going to make up for that time. So Elle, the poor thing, didn't really get much sleep. And I was then stressing because I knew that the next day would be really painful to like get through. Yeah, it was just not a fun time, but thank goodness it was just a once off. Darcy was just having an off night. The fear there for a second was that he wasn't adjusting to Oswin being in the house, but it's okay. It was a false alarm.
Because we also changed his sleep suit that night as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, is it that? But so far after that he's been fine with it.
Well, because we're trying to make small steps to him going into a single bed, which won't be a cot with walls. So we had to take him out of his grow bag and put him into, I think it was an ergo pouch or something, with the legs so that he could walk around if he got out of his bed. So we've been making small steps. We first introduced the pillow, now we've changed his sleep suit, and then next thing will be moving him to the bed or taking off the side of the cot. We haven't decided yet. Ironically, the person who next asked a question asked pretty much the opposite of the last one. Your favourite thing about being a mum of 2 so far, and I'll extend that to you as a dad as well. I'd say seeing them together, like when Darcy really wants to hold Oswin or really wants to kiss him, it's so sweet, but also slightly terrifying because you don't know how aggressive he's going to be. He has this thing where he loves to put the weight of his head on Oswin while he's kissing him, and it petrifies me. But it is also the sweetest thing about having the 2 of them.
Yeah, I think I like that, but then I also like the differences that you get. Like Darcy's so full on and doesn't really want to cuddle, so you get that aspect, and then you go to Oswin and like, oh, all he wants is just to cuddle and all he needs is just you.
Yeah.
So I like that as well. That's been really nice.
Lauren_pipe1 asks, how's the transition to 2 going so far? I'd say fairly well. It just feels like a bit of like a transition in our relationship in a way. Like we're splitting off to obviously the different kids, which means that there's not really much time for us together. The only time we really get is like at dinner, isn't it? And that's if we eat dinner separate to when we have it with Darcy. And then you kind of go off to bed and then I just stay up with Oswin if he's up, or if he's asleep then I go to bed too. So yeah, that's the only real thing, is like a bit of a struggle is I guess trying to figure out our relationship through it all. But I'm sure that with time that will change as well, with Elle going back to work, me then being the full-time carer for both of them. I'm sure we'll figure out a bit more of a system. And Oswin's so little at the moment, he's not really sleeping long periods of time, so it makes our relationship difficult. For me, that's the only transition that I'm like part of the transition I'm struggling with. Otherwise I feel it's quite natural. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think just having all of our attention consumed by 2 kids now, instead of just when one would go to bed, you're kind of off for the night. But now it's like you don't really get to rest. And my YouTube consumption's gone down. So I think,
and my Candy Crush consumption's gone down.
because now I just value sleep a lot more. I go to bed, spend like about 10 minutes on my phone, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I just need to sleep because who knows what the night's going to be like. So,
Or the next day with
Or the next
tantrums.
day.
That's another thing I'm quite struggling with, is just having them at 2 different stages. Like, Oswald needs us for one part of ourself, and then Darcy consumes the other part of ourself, like the patience and all of that. But then Winnie really needs us for the love and the cuddles and the breastfeeding, which has been challenging.
and the constant nappy changes.
There's been a few times that we've forgotten to change Winnie because we're so used to Darcy's nappy change schedule that we found him with a poo explosion off his back. But it's all a learning curve, and
It's all slowly coming back.
yeah. And you forget how much you rely on the poo colour and their cries and how much they are gaining each week and just all that sort of stuff. Like, it just kind of dissipates as they get older, and you just don't think about that sort of stuff anymore. And all the leaps and all that fun stuff. Cal Hollis asks, how are you going since Oswin was born? Have you had any baby blues? ? Darcy coping ? I'd say Darcy's going really well.
Surprisingly well.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a dead leg as well. Your foot looks so uncomfortable under the table.
Well, it's better than it was.
Oh, ow. Yeah, I think Darcy's going really well, actually. He had a little snippet of jealousy with you in that first week when you'd hold Oswin. Only occasionally. If you were on the couch, you were fine. But if he was to walk around the house with Oswin, it was almost like Darcy wanted to be carried, and he was like, no, it's my dad. Like, why are you carrying this other baby? But that only lasted a day. Maybe 2.
Yeah, day or 2. Like, he did it again just the other day, but I think he was in a foul mood.
Yeah, I think it's all dependent on their mood.
Because he'll do that as well if he's in a foul mood and I'm not holding Oswin. So,
yeah. But I'd say he's doing so well. Like, if I sit on the couch here feeding Oswin, he actually wants to come up and stroke him and kiss him. No jealousy towards me at all, which is great. But I knew that the jealousy would be more for you because he just is obsessed with Elliot. And yeah, it's honestly been really easy. I actually thought it would be way harder with Das, teaching him to, I guess, not really understand what the baby is, but kind of like get used to having a baby around. But the only thing is really just Darcy not being overly gentle. So that's been a really tough part, which I guess is just normal, is you just have to keep a really close eye on them. Like, if I'm on the bed and I put Oswin down on the bed while I just put my bra up or whatever, and Darcy quickly runs into the room and jumps on the bed, it's like seconds between like a catastrophe and it being really sweet with him kissing his head, you know what I mean? So, like, the other day he had this habit of kicking Oswin, didn't he? He wanted to like kick him with his foot, and I think it was just exploring the boundaries of what he can and can't do with the baby, which is quite normal. But otherwise he's been so good. Like, I couldn't ask for a better result than what we've had.
and something you probably don't know is in the mornings when I get him out of bed, he always asks, well, not always, but often asks for you and baby.
Aww.
Like, mama, baby.
That's so sweet. I sometimes hear mama, but I didn't know he did baby. In regards to the baby blues, I honestly haven't had any. I didn't even have, you remember with Das on the bed, day 4 or 5, I had that emotional crying where it was my happy tears. I was like, I'm just so happy. Like, it's just, I feel really emotional, but it's happy tears. Whereas this time, even though I'm so happy, I haven't had the emotional side of the happiness, like the tears. I've just been happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you've been great.
I haven't been over. I've had a few like tantrums, or like I love how you light up when I say that. But I wouldn't say it's anything more than what I would have when I'm on my period. You're like,
No, you've been fine.
says through the teeth, grin in bed. No, you're fine. You're fine. Speak your honest truth or forever hold your peace. To answer the first question, which is how I'm going since I was supposed to be born. Good. Physically, I definitely overdid it last week, and I'm trying to consciously make an effort to not overdo it while Ella's on leave so that I can fully recover before having to take on 2. But mentally and like hormonally, I think really well. Like way better than my first.
Yeah,
so.
you're doing so well. I think because you just had such a pleasant experience this time with the birth.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's all about stemming from that birth experience, isn't it? I love House is okay. Asks a different kind of question. Did either of us go to uni?
Nope.
Nope. I went to an acting college, which was, I guess, an advanced diploma. So it's kind of like uni, but it's not really a degree. It's like a diploma. Well, it's an advanced diploma. And you did a certificate, didn't you?
I did a TAFE. What's the highest TAFE one you can do? A TAFE advanced diploma?
You did it.
Yeah, I did an advanced TAFE diploma. And
Yeah.
just rest on the job training.
Yeah. So I think it depends on the field you want to work in. Like, I did get into uni, but I didn't get into a course that I wanted, and I didn't know enough about transitioning between courses, and I thought that I'd have to fork out heaps of money and do a course that I didn't like before I could transition and all this sort of stuff. And I guess I didn't get enough information to make the right decision, and then I just decided to do acting, and then I just bounced between jobs until I became a mum. And I always knew that I wanted to be a mum. Like, that was always the one thing that I've always said 100% this is what I want to do. And careers just haven't been of that kind of nature in my head. Like, I've not been like, oh, I want to be this. It's always just been to pay the bills. So yeah, I think that's why I'm so happy having another baby, because I'm like, this is like my life. This is what I want for my life. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I was kind of the same. Like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew the rough kind of thing, and then had to make a decision because the first plan failed. And then...
Yeah, well, he was trying to get into it was the Air Force, wasn't it? And that didn't work.
Well, it did. I got fully in, got
Yeah.
the job I wanted, but then due to health issues, I couldn't join in the end, which was annoying after 18 months.
La.m.s.c asks, how many babies do you want? Well, we used to have very different answers to this, and I think we still kind of do. Well, actually, no, I don't know now that we've had 2. How do you feel? Oh, what is that?
I know that 2 is still good. It's a very practical
So you'd be
number.
happy if we stopped with the 2
I'd
boys?
be happy with 2.
You'd be happy never having a girl?
Well, I would like a girl. So that's why I think, well, we need to try again. But then we've already had 2 boys. So then, like, what's the chance of having a girl? I don't know. And then, like, well, they fit in the car. Now
You'd have to get a new car.
you'd have to get like a minivan or a bus or something.
Where's my onion rings? You've been eating me onion rings?
I've had a few.
We have to do a quick fire round because we are already at the 30-minute mark, which is ridiculous. Okay. Are you ready? We're going to do a speed fire. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong in this speed fire round. So there's a couple of double...
Already off to a great start.
There's a couple of double up questions. Okay. Underscore Molly, underscore Levi asks, do you like this gap?
Do you like his gap?
The gap.
What?
P.S. Love you guys. Thank you. We love you too. The gauge gap.
Oh! I was like, why are you talking about the
Come on,
suburb?
speed round.
Yes, I think the age gap is good.
Yeah. I do too. The only thing that I wish is that Darcy had a little more understanding about gentle.
Gentle and more commands, like stop
No.
whinging, let me pay. He hates checkouts. Absolutely hates them. Nothing has ever gone wrong, yet he's petrified of them.
He's tetrified.
Petrified. Just speed round. Don't have time for pronunciations.
My tummy hurts from laughing.
Come on, go.
Lots of underscores, eat a brick, lots of underscores. Sorry, it's a bit funny. How did you pick the name for the babies? I can't stop laughing now, everything's funny. How do we pick it? Well, we knew that Winnie was going to be his nickname. And so I didn't love Winston, even though I keep going to call him that bloody name because it makes sense with Gwynnie. I didn't love that name for us with our surname. And there was another name, Winifred, and I was like, no, I don't like that name.
Yeah,
and I couldn't think of anything else. So I was like, I'm going to have a Google. What were you going to say?
I said there was also Edwin.
Oh, no, well, that was a Google name.
What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I had a Google to find what Winnie could derive from, and I got a bunch of names, about 5 or so, and Oswin was one of them. And I was like, I love this name because he can get Oz, Aussie, Winnie, Win, or Oswin. So that's how we found it. But I wish I could say that there was like this magical website that popped out this unique name, but no, it didn't happen like that. _Ella_Tierney_ asks, when are you doing the complete house tour? Probably not for a very long time.
Once the house is complete.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just going to take a long time. We've got to transition Darcy. We've got to save up to buy some other furniture, which is not here right now. We've got a lot bigger house than we had before. So we don't have like buffet table, and we don't love our dining room table. It's a bit too small right now. So there's just things that are going to take time. And yeah, it probably won't be for a little bit. Taylor_fam_bam asks, do you have a good relationship with Elliot's parents? Yes. We have a really good relationship with them. It's just a shame that they are really far away from us. Well, not really far, but it's like 4 hours, three and a bit hours. So the frequency of seeing them is not as much as we probably would like. Jessie B. Knits asks, factors you considered when choosing hospital for birth? The only factor was it not to be the Logan. That was really the only factor. In hindsight, I should have asked to be referred to the Mater, but in my reasoning, I didn't want the doctor that I had, nor anybody else, to think that I was trying to just get into Mater Mothers, because a lot of women try to get referred to get into that program. It wasn't the case. The reason I wanted to go to the Mater was because I'd had my previous surgery a few years ago, a medical surgery, which is the reason why I have to have my C-sections with my babies. So it just made sense to me logically to have the C-section there. But because of how popular the whole program is and everyone trying to get referred there, I thought my chances are kind of slim. And I thought the chance of me being able to be referred to 2 hospitals is less. So if I got denied from the Mater, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere else. So I played it safe and I was like, I'm going to apply to go to the Redlands because I'd heard a great experience from my friend. She had her baby there, and they give you your own room. They kind of sounded like they had all of the things that I was wanting, like delayed cord clamping, which didn't end up happening, which is really annoying.
They kind of did.
They did a version of it. And then you got to cut a bit of the cord. I got to have skin to skin. I even got to breastfeed a little bit in the surgery.
I got to cut a lot more than I thought. I think they still cleaned it up a bit, but like it wasn't like there was like meters of it on there. Well, what was it, meters anyway? But like it was pretty short, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah. So I got all these things at the Redlands, and I was just like, it's not worth the hassle. So really, there was just a few factors in the decision of what I wanted in the hospital, but mostly I just didn't want to go to the Logan. That was my number one. I was like, I don't care. Just don't let me go back there, because that was the worst experience of my life and I never wanted to do that again. So I was very happy with my decision. Stephanie_Samson9 asks, what is the biggest difference so far regarding going from 1 child to 2? Do you fancy having the ice cream yet?
Yeah, maybe I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would like it.
I can do that.
The biggest difference going from 1 to 2 is really just juggling the time, and trying to keep Darcy entertained while looking after a baby, because Darcy's so needy right now of our attention, and he's very much tantrumy and that kind of thing. So Osmond's kind of getting put to the side a little bit, because he's just so easygoing at the moment. So I'd say that's the biggest challenge, is just trying to distribute my time with them both, but also not overdoing it after my C-section. So yeah, a bit difficult. Ashley Janey asks, any advice for bigger girls, aka myself, on finding love? I'm always made to feel like I should be settling for anyone I can get. Elle seems to just adore you, as do I. Thank you very much. Basically, the way that I see it, and Elle will probably come back and, you know, talk about this too. The way that I see it is, as long as you're confident in yourself and that you love yourself, then that will be contagious to somebody else. People don't always want a skinny model, you know? They don't always want the thinnest person. Some guys love thicker girls, and some guys don't care if you're thick or thin. They just love you for your personality. So I think if you're just genuinely being you and open to opportunities of meeting someone, the right guy will come along. Elle and I met online, and he reached out to me, albeit I probably was a few kilos lighter then, probably about 5 or 10 kilos lighter. You're back.
I'm back.
Did you hear the question I was answering?
Yes.
Do you have an answer to that?
Yeah, I think along the lines of what you were saying, it's like if you love yourself and just be really happy and positive, like someone's
Physical appearance won't matter so much.
Exactly, like you're more drawn to a personality. Like you could have someone who's like absolutely stunning in terms of looks, but their personality could be horrible and like completely turned off. So
yeah,
personality is a huge part.
Like obviously they have to be attracted to you.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
But at the same time, like
it's not everything.
No,
definitely not everything.
I mean, some guys will say it's everything, and they're the guys that you want to stay clear of because they're noobs. But I never had issues with, you know, dating guys or finding Elle. I mean, I met you quite young. And I think it just comes down to confidence. If you believe that no one will love you because of your weight, then no one will love you because you're not open to that, you know? So I think it's just all about that body confidence. And if you don't have the body confidence, you've got to teach, like you've got to tell yourself that you are confident, and it will eventually happen. It will grow. SBRJL asks, what was the hardest part about your pregnancy? There was a few things that were hard this time. Juggling a toddler, definitely high up on the list. But the hardest part was the SPD. Made harder with a toddler, but I could barely walk from the couch to the kitchen. I couldn't function, I couldn't do anything. Even just rolling over in bed at night was an issue.
Yeah, it was so painful. Well, it seems so painful.
Yeah. Dominicog147 asks, favourite singers?
Gosh.
I'd say ballpark music is one of them. Loon Lake.
Shame they don't sing anymore.
Yeah, but the main singer guy lost his voice, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, because wasn't he like not singing properly?
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, he's up there.
Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
A variety of things.
Yeah, I've got a lot of other music that I listen to, which you don't listen to.
Well, name some.
Let's see, there's Bring Me the Horizon. What's the other one? There's Rise Against. They're good. Bullet for My Valentine. They're good.
But to answer your question, we do not have a singular favourite.
No, I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah,
band.
like we're not obsessed. Yeah, like we're not, like if there was a band in town, we wouldn't be like, oh my god, go see that person.
Drop everything. I guess now the Wiggles are pretty high up there too. So.
And the last question that we're going to do, because it's getting very on, what is your favourite thing about each other? Oh. It's the same as, my answer is the same as last time. The last Q&A we did, we got asked that too. Your ability to be a dad, or being a dad.
Oh, was that your answer last time?
I think so.
Oh, well, it's nice.
It's true.
Oh.
Well, that was a scream we've never heard before.
Such a random scream.
Like he was having a terror or something, like
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
He's down here in my arms. I'm not going to put him on camera because with the whole YouTube kids on channel rule with no comments. So annoying. But it is what it is. But anyway,
yes, my thing.
Oh,
I guess, would it
yes.
be too corny if I said your ability to be a mum? Because it is, you are such a natural, and with 2, you're just like even more amazing.
You're lying.
I guess my backup answer would be your personality. Because you've got
Just
a
in
beautiful,
general.
you got a beautiful personality.
No, you're very nice.
So, very nice, lovely lady, bubbly, sweet, smart.
Anyway, enough about me. Alright, we will see you guys in our next video. If you guys enjoyed today's mukbang, hit the thumbs up. It really supports our channel or my channel. And of course, leave us a comment down below. What should they comment, Elle, if they've made it to the end?
A burger.
A burger emoji. Oh, good idea.
Yep.
So yeah, leave us a burger emoji, and if you have any other questions that you want us to answer, leave them down in the comments as well. And of course, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you in the next one, which will be in a week, because at the moment I'm doing one upload till you go back to work. Anyway, catch you. Bye.
What does perfect even mean?